Before the world knew them as the protectors of presidents, soldiers, and nations, the Belgian Malinois was simply a working dog, born not in luxury, but in purpose. Its story begins in the late 19th century in the small town of Malines, Belgium, a place where farmers needed more than a companion. They needed precision. They needed endurance. They needed a dog that could think, act, and obey, all at once. From those fields, the Malinois was forged, a herding dog with eyes that never stopped observing, muscles that never stopped moving, and a mind that never stopped working. It wasn't bred to please, it was bred to perform. These early shepherds were lean, alert, and endlessly determined, capable of managing flocks for hours under the harshest weather. While other dogs relied on instinct alone, the Malinois added something different: strategy. It learned to anticipate the movement of sheep, read the environment, and even sense the hesitation of its handler. It wasn't just following orders, it was thinking. Belgium's breeders quickly realized they had created something extraordinary, a dog whose intelligence matched its stamina and whose loyalty went beyond obedience. It was a creature of balance, neither too heavy nor too delicate, fast yet controlled, fierce yet focused. By the early 1900s, word began to spread. The Malinois was no longer just a farm dog. It was a marvel of discipline. Police departments across Europe began to take notice. In a world that was becoming increasingly complex, they needed dogs that could make split-second decisions under pressure. And so, the shepherds of Belgium became the guardians of cities. The same traits that once made them perfect herders now made them perfect protectors. They could track scents for miles, subdue suspects with precision, and defend their handlers with unwavering loyalty. Their devotion wasn't driven by fear, it was driven by bond. A bond so strong that handlers often said, "A Malinois doesn't serve beside you. It serves as part of you." As the decades passed, the world changed, and war came. When the chaos of the 20th century erupted across Europe, the Malinois once again answered the call of duty. It became a messenger, a scout, and a symbol of loyalty on battlefields where humanity's own loyalty was in question. In both world wars, these dogs ran through smoke and fire, carrying messages, detecting enemies, finding the wounded. They didn't know ideology or politics. They only knew devotion. And they never hesitated. Soldiers who fought beside them told stories of courage so pure it defied comprehension. A Malinois would crawl through trenches, ignoring explosions, guided only by its purpose to reach its handler. When men fell, the dogs stayed beside them. When hope faltered, the dogs pressed on. By the end of the wars, their reputation was sealed. They were no longer just Belgian shepherds. They were legends of discipline. But their story didn't end with the battlefield. The same qualities that made them warriors would soon make them heroes in peacetime, in police stations, search and rescue teams, and family homes around the world. Because the Belgian Malinois is more than muscle and speed. It's focus embodied, a creature that channels its entire being into one mission: to protect, to serve, to love without hesitation and without end. From the farms of Malines to the front lines of history, the Malinois never changed its essence. Only its purpose evolved. And as the 20th century turned to the 21st, the world would come to realize something extraordinary. When discipline and devotion are combined in a single heartbeat, the result is not just a dog. It's a force of nature. The Belgian Malinois was no longer simply a breed. It was an ideal, the living embodiment of what it means to be loyal beyond reason. The world after war was scarred, cities rebuilt, nations recovered, But danger never truly disappeared. In the shadows of the Cold War and the rise of modern policing, humanity searched once again for partners who could be trusted not with words, but with instinct. And so, the Belgian Malinois rose from the fields and trenches to take its place among the world's elite guardians. It didn't just follow orders, it anticipated them. It didn't just obey, it understood. While other breeds might hesitate, the Malinois moved like a soldier who already knew the mission. It could sense tension in a handler's breath, detect danger in a change of wind, and make decisions faster than human thought. That precision caught the attention of those who needed it most, the protectors of nations. By the mid-20th century, police and military units across Europe, North America, and beyond began to train with the Malinois, and what they discovered changed working dog history forever. This was not a dog that needed constant command. It thrived on independence, a trait few breeds could balance with loyalty. Handlers found in the Malinois something extraordinary, a partner that didn't just execute, it cooperated. Whether in search and rescue, narcotics detection, or special operations, it adapted faster than any canine before it. Its intelligence wasn't wild or chaotic. It was disciplined, deliberate, almost surgical. Soon it was no longer just a helper. It was a soldier. During conflicts in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and countless covert operations, Malinois dogs walked beside elite forces. They jumped from helicopters, parachuted into hostile zones, and advanced through enemy fire without hesitation. They wore cameras, carried gear, and faced danger not because they were forced to, but because they wanted to. Their loyalty was absolute. One handler described it best. He didn't wait for me to move. He waited for my heartbeat. These dogs could detect IEDs buried deep underground, track fugitives across impossible terrain, or charge into buildings where no human dared to go first. And every time, they came back with the same calm focus, eyes sharp, tail steady, heart unshaken. Their reputation spread quickly among the military's most secretive units, the Navy SEALs, Delta Force, GINN, and KNPV handlers. If there was a mission too dangerous for a human, the Malinois went first. And it never failed. In 2011, when the world learned of Cairo, the Malinois who joined the US Navy SEALs in the raid on Osama bin Laden's compound, the breed's legend became global. Cairo's name was just one among thousands who had served silently, bravely, and without hesitation. He was the face of a truth long known by soldiers that courage doesn't always walk on two legs. Handlers who returned from war often said the same thing, that their Malinois wasn't just a partner, but a mirror, a reflection of their own discipline, fear, and hope. When soldiers faltered, the dogs didn't. When humans doubted, the dogs pressed forward. They became anchors in chaos, constant, calm, and fearless. Even outside the battlefield, the Malinois carried that same intensity. In the hands of police officers, they became legends on the streets, chasing suspects through dark alleys, detecting explosives in airports, rescuing the lost in forests. They didn't need applause. They didn't seek reward. Their satisfaction was simple, a nod from their handler, a single word. Good. To them, that word was everything. It meant success, trust, love. It meant that they had done what they were born to do. But the Malinois isn't defined by aggression. Its ferocity lies not in rage, but in control. It knows exactly when to act, and more importantly, when not to. That restraint, That laser focus makes it unlike any other working breed. Its loyalty isn't blind, it's intelligent. It doesn't follow anyone, it chooses whom to trust. And once that trust is earned, it's for life. Many handlers say that when a Malinois bonds with you, you don't just gain a partner, you gain a shadow. It watches you, studies you, understands you in ways that feel almost supernatural. When you're calm, it rests. When you're nervous, it's already alert. When you walk into danger, it moves first. Because for a Malinois, protection is not a command, it's instinct, sacred, unbreakable. It has guarded soldiers, presidents, police officers, and families. It has saved lives we'll never know, in places we'll never see. And though medals have been awarded and stories told, the Malinois doesn't need recognition. It doesn't need monuments. Its purpose is its pride. It serves because it was born to, it protects because it was made to, and it loves because, somehow, in the heart of all that discipline, there beats a tenderness few expect, but everyone feels. The Belgian Malinois is not just the soldier's shadow. It's the embodiment of loyalty made flesh. Power can be taught. Discipline can be trained. But intelligence, real instinctive intelligence, cannot be manufactured. And that is what separates the Belgian Malinois from every other working breed on Earth. Its brilliance doesn't come from obedience alone, it comes from understanding. Handlers often say, a Malinois doesn't wait for orders. It's already 3 steps ahead. That's not exaggeration, it's the truth. Inside that lean, muscular frame is a mind that never rests. Every sound, every movement, every shift in emotion, the Malinois notices it all. It processes constantly, calculating how to respond, how to protect, how to perform. It's not chaos, it's focus, pure and relentless. That intensity is both its gift and its challenge. Because a Malinois is not content to exist. It needs purpose. Without it, its intelligence turns inward, restless, searching, demanding something to solve, something to guard. This is not a breed you own. It's a partner you earn. It will test you, push you, study you, and once you prove worthy of its respect, it will give you everything. Its mind, its heart, its life. In training fields, handlers describe moments that border on telepathy. They whisper a word, barely audible, and the dog moves. Not out of habit, but out of synchronization. 2 beings sharing one mission. That's the essence of the Malinois mind. Not submission, but alignment. It doesn't want to serve blindly. It wants to serve correctly. Its intelligence can't be measured by tricks or tests. It's measured by adaptability. Drop it into a new environment and it learns the terrain within minutes. Give it a complex task and it breaks it down instinctively, scanning, analyzing, acting. It's as if the Malinois has a built-in map of logic and loyalty intertwined. That's why military and police trainers describe them as thinking athletes. They combine physical precision with mental calculation, like a chess player who sprints at full speed. But brilliance comes with cost. A Malinois without direction becomes like a storm with nowhere to go, spinning with energy that must find release. That's why the bond between dog and handler is sacred. It's not built on dominance, but trust through purpose. Give the Malinois a reason, and it will give you perfection. Deny it a mission, and you'll see restlessness that no fence can contain. It's a dog that thrives in clarity, clear rules, clear boundaries, clear love. Without those, it loses balance. But with them, it becomes unstoppable. Every neuron in its brain seems wired for work, detecting danger, anticipating moves, guarding those it loves. But within that hyper-focus, there's something even deeper: empathy. Because intelligence without compassion is just calculation. And the Malinois has both. It reads human emotion like language. When you're afraid, it stands closer. When you're sad, it lies beside you. Not because it's told to, but because it knows. It doesn't just protect your life, it protects your spirit. That's the paradox of the Malinois mind: fierce enough to fight, gentle enough to feel. Scientists studying the breed have noted its unique cognitive balance, a rare blend of problem-solving, emotional attunement, and sensory precision. It's not only capable of following hundreds of commands, it can interpret context, knowing when to act and when to wait. That's why it's trusted with missions no other dog can handle: hostage rescue, bomb detection, elite security. Because in moments where hesitation can cost lives, the Malinois doesn't think in panic. It thinks in purpose, but the most remarkable thing about its intelligence is not what it does under command. It's what it does when there isn't one. When the handler is down, when the line goes silent, when everything falls apart, the Malinois continues. It takes initiative, it makes decisions, it completes the mission. That's not training. That's devotion written into DNA. For centuries, humanity bred dogs for tasks: to fetch, to herd, to guard. But with the Malinois, something more profound was achieved. We didn't just breed an obedient worker. We forged a partner with judgment, one capable of independent loyalty. It doesn't need to be told to love you. It already does. It doesn't wait to be asked to save you. It already will. That's the mind of a warrior. Not a machine programmed for violence, but a living soul wired for loyalty, precision, and heart. To understand the Belgian Malinois is to realize that intelligence isn't only about knowing what to do. It's about knowing why you're doing it. And the Malinois always knows why. To the world, the Belgian Malinois is a soldier, precise, unshakable, unstoppable. But those who live with one know a different truth. Beneath the uniform of discipline lies a heart that beats not for glory, but for love. The Malinois is not just a guardian of nations, it's a guardian of homes. When it steps into your life, it doesn't simply join your family, it claims it. It watches you, studies your routines, learns your emotions, until every heartbeat becomes part of its mission. That mission is not written in orders or training manuals. It's written in devotion. To the Malinois, protection is not a job, it's identity. It guards because it loves. It watches because it cares. It stays close because deep in its heart it knows its purpose is you. When danger approaches, you'll see it in an instant. The playful dog that sleeps at your feet transforms. Its eyes sharpen, its muscles tense. It stands between you and whatever comes next, silent, focused, fearless. It doesn't think of consequences. It doesn't measure odds. It simply acts, and when the moment passes, when the world is safe again, it returns to being the gentle shadow that follows you everywhere. Head resting on your lap, breathing slow, eyes full of calm. That's the Malinois paradox. Fire and tenderness existing in perfect balance. It can sprint at 30 miles per hour, scale walls higher than its body, or leap through a car window in a single bound. Yet it can also lie motionless for hours beside a child, guarding dreams with the same intensity it once used to guard soldiers. Handlers often say, "A Malinois doesn't love halfway." And that's the truth. Its affection is absolute, consuming, almost overwhelming. It doesn't just want your attention. It needs your presence. Because for a dog born to bond, separation feels like exile. That's why owning a Malinois is not like owning a pet. It's entering a partnership of responsibility, one that demands respect, structure, and consistency. Because this dog mirrors your energy, your focus becomes its focus, your calm becomes its calm, your chaos becomes its storm. If you give it leadership, you gain loyalty. If you give it confusion, you invite fire. But when you understand it, truly understand it, you unlock something incredible, a loyalty so deep it transcends training, a love so intense it feels almost human. You'll notice it in small things, the way it always faces the door, even while resting, the way it positions itself between your children and strangers, the way its eyes track you across the room, waiting for your signal, your breath, your heartbeat. It doesn't follow because it's told to. It follows because it belongs to you, and that belonging isn't possession, it's promise, a promise to protect, to accompany, to endure. Even in its sleep, it listens. Even at peace, it stands ready. Because a Malinois doesn't know rest in the way we do, its peace comes only when its people are safe. In families, it becomes both sentinel and soul. It thrives when it has a job, even if that job is simply being near. Give it purpose, and it will shine. Give it affection, and it will melt. It's a dog that loves with precision, intense, focused, unrelenting. When it looks at you, you feel it, the weight of its loyalty, the gravity of its devotion. That's why so many call it the dog with the warrior's heart. Because every Malinois carries two fires inside, one that burns for duty and one that burns for love. They are one and the same. That's why this breed has found its way from military bases to family living rooms, from war zones to backyards filled with laughter. It doesn't matter where it is. The mission never changes. To guard, to guide, to love. There is something ancient in its gaze, something that transcends time and purpose. It's as if the spirit of every guardian, every protector, lives within it. The Belgian Malinois doesn't just protect your life, it protects the meaning of it. Because for this dog, love is not gentle, it's absolute. It doesn't fade when you're tired or weaken when you're distant. It stays, always. And in that stillness, in that quiet loyalty that asks for nothing but your trust, you see the truth, that even warriors have hearts, and this one beats for you. Every warrior has two sides, the fighter the world sees, and the soul that only those closest ever know. For the Belgian Malinois, that truth is especially profound. Because beneath its discipline, its intensity, its flawless obedience, beats a heart that loves beyond measure. The Malinois does not serve for medals. It does not fight for praise. It gives everything because that is what love demands of it. And that is what makes it more than a soldier. When the day is over and the mission complete, it doesn't seek rest. It seeks presence. Its place is not just in the field or the front line, but at your side, head resting on your knee, eyes soft and tired. That gaze carries centuries of loyalty, from Belgian farmlands to battlefields, from city streets to family homes. It's a gaze that says, I am here. I always have been. There's something spiritual in that bond, something words can't quite touch. It's not ownership, it's kinship. It's as if the Malinois doesn't see itself as separate from you, but as the extension of your will, your safety, your heart. And maybe that's why those who've shared their lives with one never forget it. Because a Malinois doesn't just love you, it defines its life through you. When you leave, it waits. When you return, it doesn't celebrate with noise, it celebrates with peace. Because for it, home isn't a place, it's the sound of your voice. That's what separates this breed from all others. Its devotion is not loud or needy, it's silent, watchful, infinite, and it never fades. Handlers who've served with them often say the same thing, that long after the uniform is gone, they still feel their partner walking beside them. That loyalty doesn't end when service does. It becomes memory, living forever in the space between love and loss. The Malinois is, and always has been, the reflection of our best selves. Disciplined yet compassionate, strong yet gentle, fearless yet deeply kind. It reminds us that strength is not the absence of softness, and courage is not the denial of fear. Real courage, the kind the Malinois lives every day, is to face the unknown with love still intact. That's what this breed has taught soldiers, officers, and families across generations. That protection isn't about power, it's about care. It's the quiet choice to stand between danger and the ones you love. To give, even when no one sees. To love, even when it's hard. And that's the secret the Malinois carries. Not in its training, not in its instincts, but in its heart. Because at the core of every Malinois, under the drive and fire and intensity, there's something achingly human. The desire to belong, to serve, to mean something. That's why it connects so deeply to the people it trusts. Because, in its own way, it's chasing the same thing we all are. Purpose, a reason to wake up, a reason to protect, a reason to love. And in fulfilling that purpose, it becomes something greater than a dog, greater than a breed. It becomes a symbol of devotion itself. Every leap, every mission, every act of courage is a reminder that love, when combined with discipline, can move mountains. The Belgian Malinois doesn't just live to protect us. It teaches us what protection means. That real guardianship isn't about control, it's about responsibility. That loyalty isn't about obedience, it's about trust. And that love, in its purest form, is service without expectation. So when you see one standing beside its handler, muscles tight, eyes locked, calm as steel, know that you are looking at something sacred. A heart that has chosen purpose over comfort, a soul that has found peace in duty. The world calls it a working dog, but those who truly understand call it something else. A partner, a protector, a legend. The Belgian Malinois, born in the fields, forged in fire, and forever bound by love. Because when the noise fades and the world grows still, one truth remains. The greatest warriors are not those who fight for power, but those who love without fear.